that was homeless for how long have you been homeless?
Um, well, off and on since I was wiped out by the World Trade Center incident,
Wow.
and I had some buddies in the South Tower I was working with, and all my life savings had been accumulated in gold certificates, kept in their safe. And when that building went, I went. So I liquidated. Took me 2 years to liquidate everything, and wound up on the streets in 2003. Of course, when you fall from a very high place, you don't have the same circle around you, and people don't really want to talk to you if you don't have the money. But I came from a very poor family, and I roll with the punches, and it's all right. Um, I got a couple of gigs around 2000. I think it was 2005. Uh, I was working on one of the first video games.
Okay, well, let's just keep it to.
Gotcha.
You actually lived in a homeless encampment in Venice on Sunset, right?
I sure did. I came out to Venice around 2014, I think it was, and sort of landed on Park Avenue, which was run by gangsters and everything else. And I've worked with, I'm not exactly a saint, but I worked with cops most of my life and military and other guys, and I just saw some bad stuff going on, and I decided to jump in with some of my buddies and cleaned it up for a couple of years, and
How long did you live at that encampment in Sunset?
about 3 years.
And tell us some stories about how was it living there?
Initially, it was touch and go because they had some, there was a couple of guys rolling through who were just plain old thugs and rapists and that kind of stuff, and it's like I actually came here to die. I gave up on life, but that sort of sparked something in me, and I got my street son here,
Hey, Stevie.
Stevie,
Wow.
and he had been heavily abused, and I decided to take him under my wing, and basically, I got some of my guys together. We started running out some of the worst parts of what was going on there, and I got a kind of a following because I stood up for good people wherever they were. I don't care if they were cops, or if they were gangsters, or if they were homeless. I stand up for good people, and there's good cops and bad cops, but the good ones are awesome. I sure do miss them. But about 3 years, and it was pretty much under control. In fact, one of our residents, he was kind of a hardcore tweaker and had some issues, but we loved him. But he just passed away like a week or two ago. You might know, we call him Bear, White Bear. This White Bear and Brown Bear we love. Um,
Did he hang out in the coffee shop?
Beg your pardon?
Did he hang out at the collage?
No, he mostly just stayed in the alley. He was that long hair artist guy, painted murals all over everything there. And but when I left, I had already started having heart problems. But the doctor assigned to me said it was neurological. So I went about a year and a half having micro heart attacks, thinking it was that. And they assigned me a cardiologist who says, "Oh, I found scar tissue on your heart, but don't worry about it." And
Okay, so how long did you try to get an apartment through St. Joseph Center?
um, it was about 3 years.
So you were on a waiting list,
Mhm.
and then somehow you got into a great place on Horizon. Now, this is a large what's a studio?
This is a studio apartment,
Wow,
and
this is great, man.
yeah, it's really, it's compact and all that, but it's nice.
So St. Joseph actually got you this place?
St. Joseph's got me this place, and an excellent. I gotta give kudos to the frontline workers because I love them dearly. The only thing I have to say is that it's kind of like what the Taliban and those guys do. They hide behind children, and these guys get all puffed up because they got important roles and things like that. But for the most part, they did me right. It's just that when push comes to shove on some things that were done,
Like what?
well, like well, when they first got here, they were giving me all kinds of crap because I had to drop my keys down from the balcony over here, and the person who was doing that is actually a member of Black Lives Matter. Not that it matters to me, but they have certain things that they believe in that but I don't know if that's the reason she was giving me attitude and that, but still,
Who's giving you attitude?
I don't know if I want to name names.
Don't name, but she's from St. Joseph's.
She actually worked for Venice Housing. But here's the thing. In order to see me drop a key down, she would have had to been out there exactly a certain time of day for a couple minutes. And this is a time when we had a full-on drug dealer living downstairs.
Kidding.
And I'm trying 24/7.
How many tenants are homeless people in here?
I don't know, but I'm in the third floor, and this is already number 18, so it's probably not more than 20.
And the rest of them are like short-term living. As far as like, it's homeless, and then there's like a hostel, right?
I don't really know.
Or is it all like homeless in the building?
I from the folks I met, there's maybe 3 people here who might have had some other arrangement.
So you're saying that the guy that was dealing drugs, was he a homeless guy that got in with the program?
He had been a homeless guy and got in with the program. And look, I don't even like to. I wasn't even upset because he's a really sweet guy who was older, had his own habit, and people were coming to bug him, so he would just give it to those guys. You know, the thing is, I wasn't out to get nobody. It's just that they were. I'm like, how could you possibly see me drop keys down from the balcony when you got all this traffic all day long and you're missing that and other things going on? Well, I got that taken care of.
You can't drop keys out of the balcony?
Not supposed to, but I didn't have a choice.
Why not? How come you can't do that?
Some kind of code or something like that.
Because I lived in this building like 20 years ago, and we always like do the keys down. I lived on the second floor.
I mean, look, I got no way to open the door from up here. I can't, no way to buzz because the buzzer hasn't worked the whole time, and no cameras, so I wouldn't be able to see who's down there. So I just did what I had to do. But see, on the other side of it, they didn't have a manager here when I first got here, so to me I didn't really have any guidelines, rules, or anything for a couple of months. So everything I did, I tried to go with the flow and make life easier for people, and I had to take care of him, but nobody said I couldn't. But after I got in here, then all of a sudden he became an issue. But
they said something about Stevie?
Yeah.
What they say?
But I'm like, listen, if you got hookers and all this stuff like that coming and going in his building, please don't talk about my buddy, because he will die out there without me. He needs my protection.
Why do you say that?
Huh?
Why do you say he will die without you?
He's got some serious things going on, Well, I love him to death, and that's why I protected him.
Because the problem is right now, there's no places for the mentally ill. They're housing people on the boardwalk.
I've begged for 3 years, but you see, I love him. He's because of things he's been through. He's not.
Hey Paul, how's the video? Go ahead.
He's not going to just jump up and say, "Yeah, please help me." He doesn't do that, and he gets. What does he get?
Oh, it's just naming people.
No GR right now. They just decided to cut off.
You're kidding.
He doesn't know how to fight, right? I know how to fight, and guess what? I was blinded because I was beginning working with some cops in Arizona, but I was beaten and blinded by a vicious gang in 2010. And in 10, 11 years now,
Hey, thanks, Paul.
I've been denied disability 8 times, still don't have disability, and my profession was as
Thank you.
not just a graphics architect, but a graphics engineer.
Okay. How much rent do you pay here?
It was something like $50 a month or something like that, and then about the same time I was in the hospital with the coronary, they reconstructed 80% of my heart last year in April. Okay, might have been March, the end of March, but at the same time, HACLA decided all of a sudden, oh, well, you've been getting Social Security for a year now, you should raise your rent. They raised it during COVID, $300 or something like that.
But it can't raise during COVID-19.
Well, that's what I thought too, but the housing people pretty much insisted they were right in doing so. They tried to garnish it. I gave them a cease and desist. They tried a couple other ways to get me, to pay money or to get out of here.
So they raised your rent?
And I said, yeah. I said, listen, I don't have that much money. I only get Social Security. I'm taking care of he and myself. And my expenses are off the hook since I got all this stuff happen. And in January, I turned 65. So the government decided to start taking $150 out for Medicare. I'm like, I didn't have money for nothing, and I
So,
was already short.
so what's your rent now?
Well, I'm not sure what it is right now. It was up to 350
You
or
can't that
something.
much? They raised it?
Yeah, it was up to from 50 to
That's
350.
amazing.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, I contested that, and I said, look, all I want is a hearing. But they wouldn't go to court because why? We both know they would have lost. So what did they do? They tried to talk me into going to a nursing home. I said, listen, I'm handicapped now. I've never been like this in my life. I've always been a very physical and active person. But I said, you know what? Not a nursing home, man. I'm not going that way. So they messed around, and they get this little shortstop. She couldn't be more than 5 feet tall. This Asian girl looks all innocent, but she's conniving and mean.
Who is she?
And her name's Caroline. I don't know her last
I know,
name.
but who is she? I mean, as far as what?
She's a psychiatrist, and here's the thing: I'm not never subjected myself to any therapy like that. I mean, I had therapists along the way because they insisted, but I said, yeah, I've been under a lot of stress. I could always use someone to talk to. But when it comes to having an actual psychiatrist and being 5150, no judge, no hearing, no conviction, nothing like that, and yet they had the audacity to go straight behind my back, straight to IRS, have my money turned over to St. Joseph's payee, this guy named John Fraser.
So they get your money and issue your money out?
Yeah. So I said, listen, I still contest the rent, but here's what I want you to do. I told him, I said, take all of it until I'm paid up and whatever you think I owe you, and just give me control back of my cards as you're done, and I'll try to get it done in court. So I'll tell you what happened. He agreed to that. But at the end, and look, it's real easy to tell because all you gotta do is, I said, I'd like to see a balance sheet. It's gonna tell you everything because they took all that money out the first 2 months, and at the end of the 2 months, this guy comes back to me playing that 300-pound oath type of crap, trying to get in my face and like just laughing at me.
Who came at you?
This guy John Fraser, the payee, and he's like, well, you ain't getting your money back. I said, why not? I paid you. I let you take the money out, and I sat for 2 months without a dime.
So who is he with St. Joseph Center?
Yes.
Uh,
And he
And
works for some director. I think her name is Norma. I can't remember her name.
so, but are they harassing you?
Well, it's basically straight on abuse, elderly abuse, because he not only did he tell me I could not get my money back, I had a signed agreement that basically was going to get them off scot free to say I agreed. I said no. They tried to say I had mental problems, that I couldn't budget my money. I said, there's not enough money to budget. I said, I want my disability. I like my 11 years back pay, much less this one. I still don't have disability. So, and they're like, no, you said you're going to give you back what we think you can handle. And I said, no, I said, I want you to keep your agreement. It's a breach of agreement. Well, a breach of promise. And the thing of it is, this little girl who did this, I know the law on this. I sat there and read California law, Social Security Administration law. I filed a criminal complaint with the Inspector General. I haven't heard a word back. Bar Association is corrupt, so I don't expect anything there. Can't find an honest attorney. I found a couple of little ones, but they just want to go in and negotiate. And I said, no. I said, it's no negotiation. It's against the law for anyone to garnish a Social Security check, except the IRS for IRS debt, and everything else has to go through a formal court procedure. There needed to be a procedure that would declare me as mentally ill and unable, and there had to be a procedure for either eviction or garnishment. That would have taken 6 months. But did they do any of that? No. So I think this agent needs to be investigated.
From St. Joseph's?
Pardon?
From St. Joseph Center?
The IRS agent who did this.
Okay.
And the other thing is my social worker quit like a month ago, and she was great. I loved her to death. She helped me. She helped me to get, for example, the money I was paying for Social Security or Medicare. She helped me to find someone to help pay that. She's done wonderful things. I love her to death.
So St. Joseph, they get your money and they give you money to eat and everything?
No. So they refuse to give it back unless I give them some green and let them give me what they want. And I said, listen, you got my money illegally. I want control back. I'm not going to let you give me an allowance of stolen money. So I had no money from them since April 1st. And
So how do you eat?
huh? I get some food stamps. It ain't a lot, but listen, because I took care of so many kids out here on the boardwalk, I've still got a following. These people love me, and they do what they can. But it's not like they got money or anything, because I can't go out. Like I'm used to going out, walking up and down the boardwalk, giving people hugs and prayers, and I'm Uncle Mickey. There's a lot of people here that know me. The guys who run um, Muscle Beach. Of course, Ike's not there anymore. He's over at Ghost Gym, and my guy Peter Ruiz, who runs Venice Pier. A bunch of these guys, all the Mexicans out there, I know them all. They love me to death, and I love them. What are we gonna say? Even some of the guys in the gangs, I mean, like I said, I've been around the world a few times. I got friends in every continent except Antarctica, every race you can imagine. And so there's people who try to say, oh, he's a racist and he's this and that. And I'm like, I said, I can pull out a dozen people right now to disprove that. But no, this has nothing to do with anything. I am not incompetent. I'm a mathematician. I'm an engineer. I'm a scientist with a principal in Silicon Valley for years. I knew all the players, Bill Gates, all of them.
Okay, so your place here, you've been here how many years?
About 3 years.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's like I love my neighbors, and I've seen, I've seen a couple of like the guy who was, doing drugs out of the front there. He had so many people after him, bugging him all the time. He finally passed away. In fact, he passed away when I was being taken in for my stroke. I had 2 brain hemorrhages and 50% paralyzed straight down the middle. So if I look a little funny, my arms motion. What can I say? It's a whole new experience. Well, the thing is, for a psychiatrist who supposedly knew all about me and stuff, I haven't seen for more than 10 minutes in a year or two. But here's the thing. These people never once asked me about the losses from my paralysis because I was a professional musician.
Okay.
All these professions and loves, things that help me balance. Not a single person helped me, came to ask me about that. All they cared about was jacking the rent up and getting the money no matter what it cost me. And they harassed me every day. I mean, like, as far as I know, they're the ones who induced my stroke. I don't know.
Who's harassing you?
The people from Venice Housing and St. Joseph's, and plus, I'm bedridden here. I lose about a pint of blood every 10 days because they're denying me service left and right. And some people, I get, you have a loyalty that you work for people. But if you can't stop and listen to the facts, there's something wrong with you. And the ones who don't listen to me, I think they're part of the rest of the problems that we have here in California.
So what's your thoughts on the homeless encampment evictions going on now?
I have mixed emotions about that because I see all these comments that these people are just so, they just don't get it. They don't understand. I said, you need to take care of the root of the problem. And that's your politicians who are bankrolling off of this. They're making money off of COVID. They're making money off of us being homeless. And they're part of an agenda that's not even an American agenda. It's the CCP and others, but that's a big sort of that's a big pond to jump in discussion. But here's the thing: a lot of those people didn't have a choice whether they were mentally ill or had drug issues. But there was a lot of people who were like me, who were ex-professionals, had lives, trying to have their stuff together, and it's like just like me. Here I was, worked with cops and everything else, but I still got ticketed. I'd get bogus tickets from bad cops, knowing that I couldn't get to the police station.
What kind of tickets did we get?
Pardon?
What kind of tickets did they give you?
I'll tell you what. Okay, so when I was in Hollywood, I pretty much took over the Highland and Sunset. The people who had the shops there, the dentists, all the people there, they loved me. There was Starbucks there, and I camped in the corner, and there was a lot of gangster activity stuff. So I pretty much cleaned that out. It's what I do where I go places. And I got a good following people there. And in fact, I met a lot of great people because I was fairly high up once, and I met a lot of folks. Like, for example, Sean Guthrie, head of security for Santana. Every time he came through, he came to see me. People like that. And I was sitting outside one day. He was going to pick me up. I had a deal with the dry cleaner there. I would help
Yeah.
him. And they had me all nice suit, everything else. I was sitting there on the sidewalk, and it's like a 6-foot sidewalk. 3 horses roll up and gave me a ticket, but then they took me in for taking up space while their horses are sitting there crapping on the sidewalk. And I lost my visit with Sean Guthrie, people like this. I mean, I could tell you story after story. So, well, I feel like, God is cool. I came from poor and I had a lot of
Okay. In Venice, when you're living in a homeless encampment,
stuff. Yes,
and you're trying to get out of there so bad, right?
I was, yes.
So, how'd you get this place?
I had already experienced a number of so-called homeless places, outfits. I'd seen embezzlement, usury, all kinds of bad stuff. So I didn't really trust anybody. But this one girl came along. Her name was Fatima, who didn't stay here long, but she was awesome. Had me convinced that these guys, and they are for the most part, good people. There's a lot of good people.
Who are we talking about now?
St. Joseph's.
Okay.
And like I said, frontline workers, they go in and, there's people who come in because they just want a free ride or they want to get pregnant or whatever. But then there's really people who are real sincere about what they're doing,
Yeah.
And especially the younger kids. But me and my life and the things I've been through, it's not the kind of thing a young kid right out of school can digest easily, and the issues I have. But
If somebody made a comment just now. Why am I bothering the homeless people? I know Mickey for how many years?
Gee, it's been a while, man. Since it's been a good 5-6 years.
Yeah, and we're friends. And the reason why I'm doing the story because he actually got a place off the boardwalk.
But as you see by my guitar stand over there, I can no longer play, and just to have a little money supplementary, I'm trying to sell things off as I can because, like I said, I refuse to accept stolen money, and I refuse to sign anything that gives them the luxury of getting by with this crime because it's illegal, and if I sign, that's extortion. So aside from everything else, denying me medical services because I'm losing blood. I don't have any pants I can wear right now, and I'm kind of limited. All of my physical rehab guys, they're all on hold because I can't get up and move around. It's like I had a neurologist. They assigned me this neurologist, and now I'm an engineer. I know my stuff, and I said, what do I have to do to get you guys to give me a neuromuscular electrical stimulator? He didn't know what it was. I said, how can you be dealing with stroke victims and everything else and you don't know what an NMES machine is, right? And then they start talking about a TENS unit, which is just for surface pain. I'm like, listen, brother, I know how this works. I look at it inside and out. But, so I started looking closer at, like, the cardiologist they had before. Obviously didn't know anything. I switched because he said I had nerve problems and it was a heart attack. So all these lying doctors, and I could really trust the meds.
Yeah, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a point that came in which I said, look, you're all fired, or at least on temporary probation or hold till I figure out which of these medicines are good for me or bad for me, and I just keep trying to do what I do.
Okay, but how did you get this place from St. Joseph? That was the question.
St. Joe, you
got an ashtray?
The housing
Good. Thanks.
The housing here does not accept anyone directly from the street. They only bring St. Joseph referrals, and that's
Thank you, Stevie.
an interesting arrangement. I find in some ways. See, it's first of all, I'm not going to blame the director here, Becky, for raising my rent. That was Housing Authority, HACLA, whatever that stands for, HACLA. They raised it, but they raised it while I was having my operations and everything else. I couldn't contest it. I couldn't go down there. And these guys, they're in between. They just pass it along. But
what law is that? What law is that? You said they passed a law?
No, they just passed it along.
Okay.
They just passed, like the Venice Housing Authority, or what's it called? Venice Community Housing, I guess.
Okay.
Becky, the director, this Burnell person who was kind of against me at the beginning. She doesn't come around me much now, but you know, they all come over here. I saw like 3 people from VCH one day all wearing the BLM hats, and I started wondering, is that the reason I've been having some issues? But Becky was really cool with me for some time, and you know, listen, some people want to say I'm nuts because I'll lose my temper, but I said, listen, I have been severely abused, denied proper medical attention, and you guys keep telling me I got to give in and say it was okay to raise my rent when I don't even have disability coming in and I got all this expensive. I said, yeah, I'm going to get upset with you. I'm going to raise my voice because you can't keep telling me the same old story and expect me just to sit here because I'm dying slowly. I got 2 brain tumors that are moving around. I can't even, like I said, I can't talk. And this arm don't know when to shut up. It's like I have misfirings all the time, you know. And I accept whatever's happening to me in my world, but all I want is what belongs to me. And
Okay, so what was the procedure of getting this place through St. Joseph Center?
um, I don't know what all Fatima did to help me get this place. Because again, when I met her, I was already having like these mini heart attacks, which we thought were neurological. And she would, because like I am 90% blind from this
Yeah.
attack.
Okay, let's not get off the topic though.
Yeah.
About how'd you get the place?
She put she just helped me fill out some forms, and she heard that that this place had an opening at the time, and see if she could, because of my medical condition, see if she could help expedite that. There was a place somewhere inland, and I said, look, I've learned to live on the streets in LA. I'll just rough it out. Because I kept putting my faith in a system. Like, they owed me all this back pay and disability. I mean, I've done a lot of work for this system. I thought surely, you know, they'd help me out. But, you know, it's just, I'm just a number. I'm just another statistic.
You gotta pay electric here?
Yes.
How's that work? They pay for you?
No, it's, it comes out too, but, you know, it's like anything else.
They take out your money.
Well, they're not taking it out. That's a whole nother complicated issue right now. But we'll just say that's a back burner issue right now.
So your license have never been cut off?
Hmm?
Your license have never been cut off? That's good.
Yeah.
But you do like it here?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, look, people say, well, you should. They tried to get me to move down to the first floor. I said, listen, man, that place with all the traffic and the noise, no thanks. I don't mind doing the 3 stores trying to walk up like this. I said, it can't hurt me. It's got to help me, right? So I said, I'll just walk up the 3 flights of stairs. I'd be happy to get my intercom and the video back on so I could see what's going. But otherwise, I just keep dropping keys down or have my buddy here run down, open the door. And I used to take care of him, and now he's taking care of me, bless his heart, you know. But Lord knows he's been through hell and back himself.
Like what's wrong with Stevie?
He was, let's just say he was a prisoner, held captive, and tortured in all the worst ways you can think of for 18 months.
Wow.
So, bless his heart, I'm like, when I figured out what was going on with him and I saw that behavior over Park Avenue, that's what prompted me to start fighting. So, you know, I have a lot of buddies, even ex-KGB guys. You know those swords they used in Kill Bill, all that nice. One of my buddies at the time, a Russian guy, is a guy who owned that whole collection. But I mean, I knew a lot of people, and I just I've been fortunate.
Okay, so the process of you getting this place. Tell us about it.
Oh, well, let's see. She would take me every place I had to go, but I had to go down to Hackla, downtown a few times. I had a couple of interviews, and that was all, you know, mainly just waiting. There's a lot of people, and they were courteous and all that, but it's the same thing. You've got the people up here who are doing whatever cricket business, and you got all the frontline people who are working their butts off doing the best they can with what they got, right? I mean, my poor little social workers had loads of like 30 people at a time. It's all about head count. They don't care if they render the service properly at the top. It's all about, hey, you get the head count, you get the money. I think they should be audited.
Well, how many people from the homeless encampment on Sunset or in this building?
And none from there are in this building.
Yeah. Who's here? Like, what parts?
These guys, I'm trying to think of, I'm pretty sure, except for the guy at the end of the hall, everyone here was here before I was.
Okay, but and they got the same procedure you got to get this place.
Yes.
So do you want to stay here?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, look, the 11 years back pay disability, if I could get just that, I'd be scooting out of here because this is ground zero. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of love for old white guys, and they don't know nothing about me. They have no clue that I fought for these guys all of my life. But I get it, you know. I was young and stupid, you know, for a while, and I got over it. But not a good time for an old white guy here. I definitely try to find some place where there's some more level-headed people. And I mean, there's some beautiful people out there, man. People should listen to Candace Owens and some of these guys, you know.
Well, there's a website called lawyers.com.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's
been there.
No lawyer?
I've those guys. There's several other legal sites, and they're more refined according to the need.
Yeah.
I tried everything like constitutional law, what's just the basic law, like you can't garnish without a procedure. No honest attorneys. These guys are awful.
Yeah, but I'm saying you got to keep trying though, because you know what I mean.
I have called every day, brother.
You keep trying.
And finally, I said, "Oh, what about elderly abuse? Well, these guys don't consider you abused unless you're in a nursing home." I'm like, Jesus. I mean, like, I got a pretty good spirit for holding up against adversarial conditions. Okay, I've been shot, stabbed, tortured, held prisoner myself, but it's okay. This is part of life. Thank you, Lord. You know, I grew up in the hard coal mines, and I was a private security.
Okay.
All that stuff.
Okay. Does St. Joseph Center come here and see you at times? Does St. Joseph Center come here and see you?
Oh, they couldn't see me ever since I told them. I said, I gotta sue you. And I said, all I want them to do is like, all I said, initially I said, all I really want you to do is let's have a hearing for a judge, an honest one, to say whether I actually owe this rent increase or not. I said, even if it's a rent increase, the law still said 15% max. I mean, I understand that. I've read all this stuff, but they don't want to hear nothing about that. They just wanted what they wanted, and they were destined, bound and determined to get it, regardless.
So they're not helping you anymore?
No, and you know, it's like I said, I've only had 3 good social workers, anyways, from St. Joe.
Okay, but you're saying that they're getting your money, right?
Yes.
So how come they're not talking to you anymore? That makes no sense.
They're self-righteous. They got something in them. They just laugh at me. I said, listen, man, I need my money. Well, we'll give you got to have a meeting with the person who lied and said you're incompetent and all that. I said, no, I'm not having a meeting with someone like that. She's a criminal. That's called criminal malpractice, and if anything else, probably a RICO violation since it involves multiple corporations. I'm like, listen, I don't, if I found a good attorney who's hungry, that guy could make a lot of money. I don't really care. I just want what's mine. I like people to get off my back because I got a hard enough time.
Okay, what you can do is you can go to the bar. That's
Bar association?
No, you can't say that because like, I'm suing the Santa Monica police right now.
Hmm?
I'm suing the Santa Monica police.
Yeah.
It took me about a year to get a lawyer, man.
Oh, yeah.
But it was all no's. But I went on their site, and they shoot your case out to about 300 lawyers. You put it in, it shoots it out.
I'm not gonna be here in a year. I'll be dead.
No, I'm saying I couldn't find a lawyer, and then I found him. Do the bar.
Yeah. Well, I've tried the bar association 3 different times.
You keep trying because you go there, you put your case in, and it shoots it out.
It's like, here's the other thing. I don't know if this is coincidence or engineered, but at the same time that they decided to take my rent, someone vandalized my quarter of the mailboxes, and I haven't gotten any mail since it happened, what, 3, 4 months ago, whatever it was, right? And like, I called the postmaster. I said, you can't just send my mail back. I said, I found some on the street and on the floor, and you guys are telling me you got a backlog of vandalism. I said, that's not my problem. I said, your job is to deliver my mail, come up to my door and give it to me, or let me send someone, but they wouldn't let me send someone to pick it up for me. I'm like, you guys are nuts, man. I'm handicapped.
So is your mailbox working now?
No.
It's open?
So I still have no mail. I don't know of anything that these other guys have tried to send.
Okay, what's wrong with your mailbox?
Someone vandalized the key that the postal worker uses. So it's like it's divided into quarters. Each section has its own key that only they can use to open it, power it open. And apparently those don't work. It was vandalized for a section.
Okay, so you need to send a written request to have it fixed in writing.
Been there, done that, and nothing's happening.
You're kidding.
And look here, I love my manager here. The managers here have always been beautiful, wonderful people, right? But again, they're last person down the totem pole, and they're giving the frontline people, they're giving the crappiest jobs, bless their heart. But you know, it's like she offered to pick it up at the post office for us. They wouldn't let her do it, and I said, "What if I sign something?" You know, it's like, you guys are unreasonable. You say, "I'm gonna have to wait 6 months for you to fix my mailbox." In the meantime, I get none of my relief checks, no mail, nothing that's important, and all this stuff is just going where? Because I said, "You haven't sent me any notices, so I know it's going somewhere."
Okay, but who's in charge of you being here now? Did you say St. Joseph's?
Who's in charge of me being here?
Yeah.
Venice Community Housing.
Okay, so you can't go to them?
About the mailbox?
Yeah.
Yes, I did that.
What'd they say?
They said they were working on it, and I don't know what their idea of working on it is. Because like I said, that buzzer hasn't worked in 2 years, and they got other issues here. But you know, most stuff I can live with. But you know, I'm exhausted. I probably seem okay to people, but if you had seen me just a couple of years ago, I know Tony has. I was a very energetic, outgoing person, and I can't walk much more than 50 yards right now. It's all gone, you know, and I can't see you. Like I said, I've been mostly blind for these 11 years, but since this paralysis has happened, my vision has decreased substantially. I have to have people reach up to me.
Do you have any kind of like a PayPal account so people can send you donations?
I wish. Look, I actually have a PayPal account, but I've had it for 4 years. I don't know how to get money out of it. I only got $40 in 4 years of trying to get help. I don't have a bank account, and I have that little ATM Social Security card, and banks are weird right now. I don't even know how to get the donation.
Wow.
I don't have a clue, and I can't go anywhere to set something up to do something about it. You know, I'm lucky that Bank of America has some kind of relationship with Social Security Department on this card.
Yeah.
So I can walk in there with my Social Security card when it's got money that hasn't been stolen. I can go in there and cash it out directly. That's why I told these guys. These guys want to send me checks when they want to, how much they want to, and I said, I don't want your damn checks. I said, I can't go cash these checks. You want me to pay for cash a check for money that you've stolen from me? I said, and they just laugh at me
Who's laughing at you?
The pay, this guy John Fraser, and this.
Where's he from?
Huh?
Where's John Fraser from?
Don't know. But.
No, what? Like, is he from St. Joseph's?
Oh yes, he's St. Joseph's.
But they claim to be helping the homeless people.
I'm telling you, it's like I talked to the director, and I'll tell you what, from talking to, she's not a real director, she's just like one of those organizational directors. I said, listen, I want the name of your real board of directors, I want the name of your CEO, I was like, I fought a lot of big battles, and if I don't get it done down here, I said, obviously, you don't have to do a lot. You're sitting there collecting a check, and these people are just getting by with what they want. But you're afraid to do something. I know you don't want to even talk to me, but I said, someone's got to fix this, you know. And I get really mad. I said, look, if you don't do it, I'm going to have to include you in a lawsuit for denial of service. They just don't, you're not addressing the problem. I said, I don't want to sue anybody. The lawyers have to make money. And you're the one that's forcing me to bring lawyers into this, you know, and, and, you know, like with this weird political situation, I may not find a constitutional attorney or a constitutional judge at this point.
Sure you will. You got to keep going at it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, after 17 years of fighting evil, and now I've got this, and I've had this for a year or 14, 15 months, and now I'm fighting this out of the blue for the last 4 months.
How much food stamps do you get a month?
300 something.
And you got to pay your electric bill with that and everything?
That's only food stamps.
Okay.
Yeah. My Social Security was $12.50 when they raised my rent, and thank you to my Alicia who quit. She did a 180 on me, got selective memory at the end, which is, I can understand, probably fearful or who knows what, but she did all these wonderful things for me.
Like what?
Helping me to get someone to pay for my medical, and helping me to get some of the other stuff straightened out, you know. But it's just, now no one helps me, and they get this little psychiatrist, what's her name, Amanda, and you know, I'm sorry, man, she's green as can be. And another thing Alicia helped me to get, she helped me to get someone to help clean my house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and
They come in
15 hours a week, bless her heart.
They come in?
Yeah, and she's a sweetheart.
Who pays for that?
Huh?
Who pays for the house cleaner?
I don't have an idea. And here's the other thing. St. Joe's refuses to give me any data. They took all my mail, so I got no mail. I can't even reach the IRS guy who's supposed to be my worker.
Did you get your stimulus check?
Huh?
Did you get your stimulus check from Joe Biden?
I got a check sometime last year. I don't know if that's what I was supposed to get.
How much was it?
Like it was like $1,200-$1,300.
Yeah, that's the first check.
Okay.
So you got all the
I
checks.
actually had a notice, and I had an account at IRS. I got in and it said that I had $5,000 coming. I never saw a dime of that. So, but you know what?
Does that go to St. Joseph Center? The money?
No, I bet that's just because they came in like 2 days before they took my money. And here's the thing: Alicia and I were just about to go ahead and pay them off, so we just get that monkey off our back, and I would deal with it in court later. But you know, things being what they were, so I was lucky. I cashed my relief money like 2 days before they absconded my other.
Wow, you got lucky.
I got lucky, and I had some money saved, and that is plus changing a lot of things that I would normally get. We got through, but now I'm at the point where, look, man, I'm getting sores because I can't afford to buy important lotions and get vitamins and stuff. There's a lot of stuff they don't give you that for free, man. It's like out of pocket. So I don't even bother getting meds anymore because I don't really trust everything they gave me. The ones that were good, I use. The ones that aren't good.
Did Stevie get his stimulus check?
No.
Why not?
It's like Stevie's gotten a raw deal. All of this. He doesn't have any. They just totally cut off his. He wasn't getting the cash part of GR for a long time.
Yeah.
We finally got hooked up, and then a few months later, they just cut it off, and now here he is again.
Wow.
Without it, and just food stamps, and I just don't have. I can't fight all these battles. I got my hands full already, and he doesn't know how to fight. I'm just wore out, dude. I mean, like, I get worked up and my heart starts pounding. I had 80% heart reconstruction. It's like a triple bypass, the valve replacement, a hole in the middle of my heart.
So why do you still smoke cigarettes?
Huh?
Why do you still smoke?
I gave up. I said, hell, man. Look, I have to have, this is weed, okay? I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I got no painkillers. I got nothing. And even though they said I had neurological issues, they never gave me a single thing to help calm my nerves, right? I mean, my nerves are shot after all this time on the street, man. And I'm a tough guy. I take a lot of knocks. But I said, I'm now at the point where, look, I'm dying anyways, okay? I can feel the paralysis lines here. It's all I can do to talk. I mean, my doctors are straight up. They said, look, when it gets to your throat and you can't control your throat, you may have a hard time breathing, it's over.
Yeah, but you gotta stay alive for Stevie.
That's exactly why I've been alive, and no other reason.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say no other reason. I say my kids, you know, who I care much for, and if I get my back pay, shoot, man, by a large scheme of things, it's not a lot of money, but 200 grand would help us go someplace, get a little, you know, someplace peaceful.
Well, I'm surprised you can't find a lawyer with that kind of money coming to you.
How do you understand that?
Just, you know, you just can't put it on the lawyer, man. I mean, you know, there's a lawyer out there somewhere.
And I'm telling you, I tell them all the time. I told these guys when I first got here, I said, listen, help me get my disability. I will invest in you guys. Okay? Nobody listens. They all got with their agenda, and I'm just, I don't know what I am to them. But I am thankful because having been on the street has been really tough. I mean, man, I went up some hardcore people, okay? But all the kids, it's like the people who run up to me and call me Uncle Mickey and thank you, Uncle Mickey, for helping me with this or praying with me about that. And you know, it's, I feel closer to some of these people than I did my own family, and especially him. He's the nicest, kindest, caringest, givingest person I ever met. But he does have, you know, some tough issues.
What's the problem? There's no places for the mentally ill right now because Reagan shut down all the programs for the
That's
mentally
all
ill.
I can do to try to keep him safe, even in here now. It's like, you know, if I go back out, I'm done. I just cut my throat and just be done because I just can't do it. I'm tired. And that's not a bad thing. I believe in heaven and God.
Because I would always see you at the coffee shop in Venice. So you stopped going to the coffee shop?
I can't. Because of this other issue I got, I may go outside. I can't walk 20 yards before I start bleeding.
Wow.
I'll lose blood or some other thing.
So you stuck here all the time now?
I'm stuck here all the time right now.
Or do you have a TV?
No, I'm not a real TV person. I do a lot of research.
So you got an iPad?
Yeah, Stevie, check this out. He guy has a hard time. He went and worked his butt off a whole weekend just to get me that guitar stand. Okay.
Wow.
He went and went on an offsite something or other, worked the whole weekend, and then he went another time. This the last few months, and worked because he could see, like, I can't see my phone. I can't touch the buttons and stuff. I'm blind. So he worked his butt off to go get me this tablet.
You're kidding.
And I'm like, I want to be getting him stuff.
So Stevie, you got him that iPad?
And he hasn't got nothing.
Got him for Christmas.
He has nothing.
So you went to work and got it for him?
Help out a little bit here on the boardwalk.
So how you like living with Mick?
Oh yeah, Mike he's a good roommate.
Because I met you guys a while back when you guys were like living in tents on Sunset
We were outside.
at the homeless encampment.
Yeah,
How was that, the encampment?
It was,
Dangerous, right?
well, I enjoyed it a little.
Yeah.
We are dangerous.
We had a nice little area,
So do you like living here?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's a nice apartment.
Yeah, really nice,
Boardwalk
man.
And,
It's
you have all
convenient.
this activities going on.
Have you seen any doctors
Doctors, no.
for medication or anything you need?
No, I haven't really. I checked in with a GR and stuff.
Okay, so but you guys are a team.
Yeah.
You really are, man.
And it's like Stevie, you know, we both got our issues, and we you know, it's like, look, man, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a musician, a photographer, and I was always around a lot of girls, and some of my girls still come and say hi. I'm still Uncle Mickey to a lot of them, but see, I mean, like,
So you're not having sex anymore? You're telling me?
I don't need it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, you know, I still like it when my girls come and say hi.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Every now and then, but it's like,
Okay, thanks,
it's
Stevie.
like, you know, uncle niece kind of a thing, because, you know, I've had all that in my life and stuff. And I'll tell you what the Bible says. It says, blessed is he who has a wife, but more blessed is he who has none.
Yeah, it's true.
So, it's like, I don't care. I can be on my deathbed and I can still find a way to laugh and say, this is not the end. That's just the beginning. I'm just doing the best I can.
You got any kids
Um,
that you know of?
Just Stevie, No, I had the opportunity, but I was always a very cautious fellow, you might say.
You rode a bike for a while, a Harley, right?
Yeah, I was a swimmer. I was an athlete of sorts. Did my share of running and all that. I mean, that's why I got buddies with Big Ike at Muscle Beach and all these other people, and then even a couple of my little young black guys out there. Were my sparring partners, and they'd come out there all crippled,
Do you remember that guy? Because we would have coffee outside the garage.
Yes.
And there was a guy, a caretaker, that he would harass the homeless people, and then we got him fired through the video.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember him.
Tell that story, if you can.
Oh yeah, this guy used to come around. We were having coffee, and he was, yeah. Oh,
He worked for the landlord that owned that
he
property.
worked for that landlord who owned that whole quarter, I guess, that corner. Anyways, he'd come around every morning, and it didn't matter if you're sitting there or not. He had a water hose going around spraying the water. He didn't care about what the benches or chairs or anything got soaked, and he'd get right in our faces,
Yeah, because he got in my face a couple of times.
he just had an attitude problem, and some people
No, but he would actually pick on the homeless, man.
he liked picking on the
And
homeless.
I actually caught him a few videos picking on the homeless, and I guess the owner saw the video and let him go. Now they have a professional service doing it. Have you seen them?
No, I
Oh
haven't.
yeah, it's a professional crew, and they don't mess with nobody. They just do it
Okay.
professionally.
I miss my homies up there. I'm not gonna lie. Not being able to go to collage. Look, not being able to play guitar.
But the class is different though now. Anyway.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's
of
totally
course.
different, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I don't even go there anymore because it doesn't have that feel anymore. And then they changed the coffee.
Oh,
Can you believe that? They had a good coffee going there from the original owners. So I guess she's trying to save money, and she changed the taste is completely different.
she had to save money.
Yeah, and then she has it roped off now. The seats outside, so you just can't hang out there. You gotta actually buy something now.
Wow. She's hurting. A lot of people are hurting.
And the place across the street opened up for rich people, the coffee shop. That's doing all the business now.
This is all about, and I'm telling you, they say it's about just the rich and whatever. I said, no, this is about some people who, every single one of them, they have issues with pedophilia. They have the self-righteousness that where they think that they're the law, they're God, you're supposed to do what they say and just accept it. And I'm like, look, man, this country brought it upon itself. I saw this stuff. I was telling people about this back in the 90s, back in the late 80s, but I blew the whistle on some major people, but you didn't have the mass media then that you did now.
Yeah.
But I could tell you some great stories from Silicon Valley because I
Yeah.
know.
Somebody says that there's a lady who works with the homeless, and in 4 states, and she gets involved in all the issues without suing them.
Yeah.
So maybe this person can send me that person's name and email, TonyBera1902@gmail.com. So we can get this lady to help him out if she can.
But all I can say, really, honestly, if God wants me to be a martyr here, I said, all I've ever asked God for is please, look, Stevie suffers dementia. He gets out there and those guys get him drunk and he don't know no better. He sounds all good and active here right now. I could show you videos where he's got little flags and trinkets and talking to himself. He's like a 5-year-old most of the time.
So I guess St. Joseph couldn't help him because he's mentally ill. Because I found out they really can't help mentally ill. Because on the boardwalk, they're out there now.
Well, what are they doing trying to declare me as mentally incompetent when I'm a mathematician? I know more kinds of math than they even know the names of. No, it's a flat out lie. And the proof is in the first 2 months when they took everything out like I told them to. I said, why did you take everything out if you have not made that agreement? Because it don't make no sense, right? So they're breaking the law. The IRS agent himself broke the law by handing it over and no court hearing, no nothing. I said, he needs to be investigated. And I don't even know his number because Scientologists won't give me any of my records, none of my medical stuff, none of my contacts because they have it all because I can't see that well. Alicia was taking care of it for me. And I've had zero response from them on anything for the entire last, I'd say, 8 weeks or something like that.
But they're not trying to throw you out here, are they?
They'd have a hard time if
Yeah.
me since I'm obviously fully paid. They have all my money.
Y'all got you.
You know, for better or worse, they screwed themselves.
So they give you no money out of that money?
No.
Wow.
Because they want me to sign this stuff, and basically, they just want to give me what they want to give me, and they want me to agree that what they do is legal. And I said, no, it's illegal. You're stealing my money. You got to give me my control back and all the money that hasn't been used for rent. I mean, that's about $3,000 already.
You're right.
I'm like, just give me my damn money. Give me my control back. They won't do that. And it's like, it's extortion to try to have me agree to their terms at this point before they give me my money.
Man, that's so sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's evil is what it is. And I don't care if they're BLM brainwashed or not, wearing their hats around. I don't care. It's like, my friends, I've got full spectrum. I bet you none of them has as many black friends as I do, if you want to tell the truth of it. You know, my friends are from every place, man. Trinidad and all those places.
So St. Joseph is not dealing with you anymore, you're saying?
They're not talking to me. I mean, whatever they got up their sleeve, and the way they grin at me. I mean, that little half pint came here last Friday or Thursday, and I'm like, what are you doing here? You're not, you know, you're. I said, you guys are officially fired. All I can do is send a text message. I can't send a mail. I can't do so, but that's still got to be legal. I said, your medical team is fired, so I should have my money back right now. Your payee, I never authorized him, and you have to have a signed agreement from me. I said, you didn't get that. I am not declared by a judge to be incompetent, so you've broken all kinds of laws here, and all you're doing laughing in my face. And I said, only way you guys can see you're doing that is you got some kind of corrupt crap going on with judges and everything else here, or you guys are really stupid, or you guys have something else up your sleeve because they try to talk me into going to a nursing home. What do they want to try to do next? Stick me into a psych ward or something?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I said, they come at me that way. I don't even want to think about what I might do because I got a lot of resources, okay? I just don't. I try to do everything nice and up. I like to use my powers for good, as they say. I said, my resources, God has blessed me with these certain resources to help get rid of some hardcore rapists and murderers and things like that.
What do you mean, from where?
Hmm?
You mean from the homeless encampment?
From everywhere I've been outside. God has always thrown me in the path of this stuff. That's how I got beaten, blinded, and left for dead in Arizona. This eye's got a detached retina since 2010. This eye was hanging out, cross-eye socket, and the mace behind it, and I was turned down disability 8 times since then.
Okay, we got 2 minutes left because we're going on an hour. What are your final thoughts that you really want people to know about what's going on?
I say because of another incident we had in the past where my things were taken.
From where?
Don't expect to get your things back from storage people.
You mean on the street?
Yeah.
What happened?
You remember when we were once before and they took all my things, but we never got any of it back? Brand new donations, about $3,000.
You mean LA Sanitation?
Yeah.
They took it?
Yeah, remember that?
Oh, yeah, they had a sweep.
Yeah. And it was a double take sweep too, because I had my stuff all done, put it back on the hill. They did a double take, came back, got my stuff. The cops wouldn't let me at the truck to get my stuff, and it never even made it to storage. This is like 2-day-old. It was Thanksgiving, like 2-day-old donations from some fairly wealthy friends, you know.
They give you a receipt for the stuff?
No.
They're supposed to.
No, we got nothing. No, it's all a joke, man. So,
So the people right now on the boardwalk are losing their stuff. They say they're storing it.
we're not going to see it.
They won't see it.
I'll lay money down on it. In fact, it's like I said, I could tell you a lot because I am very well connected in the military. Don't take the jab, people. They got 4 different kind of poisons they're giving you, and the only one that actually worked was called what was it called? The hydrochloroquine or something like that. But Pfizer and all those guys right now, they're being called out. I mean, if you got to stay away from mainstream media, you look on, and I have yet to find a site that is 100% true.
Okay.
But the data's out there. You can find out how many poisons there are. I'm praying that God will help watch over all you folks, man.
Okay, so this is part one. We'll do part two next week. This is going on all out.
Oh my gosh.
So we're good. You'll make it. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
And we're gonna do part two next week.
Tony,
Because
it's so nice to see you. God bless you with all you're doing, my friend.
well, you got $48 coming anyway for doing this interview. Okay, folks, this is Mickey. He got housing from St. Joseph Center, and he told the story. We will do part two in a week. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you, guys.
Let me see. Yeah, that one went good. An hour.